know what is really going on in terms of the names on those lists?
I do know, but I will not release that. I'm not going to publicly call people's name to embarrass anybody. I won't.
Is it embarrassing or is making it transparent?
It is embarrassing. It is embarrassing. It is embarrassing. I am not going to call any names to say it's Jim Doe or Carlisle John Baptist at Pelty. I'm not going to do that. Those who have ears to hear, let them hear. They know themselves. I won't do that. They are all my friends. We speak. I have spoken to parties on both sides, man. On both sides.
And both sides agree that what they did was wrong or right?
All I'm saying to you, I've spoken to parties on both sides, and And you
have gotten that some members of the DCA, the signatories, are saying, "I will not sign that check."
And the I know for a fact that the treasurer of the DCA, who is Mr. Kelly DeBose Williams, that's the only name I will call, is not happy as to what.
So you mentioned the name Kelly Williams. You're saying that he was not part of any committee making that decision?
I am saying that he is not happy as to what has gone down. That is what I'm saying. Don't try to put words in my mouth.
Carlisle John Baptist. We'll talk to you. I'll let you weigh in. That should be a unanimous decision, don't you think? I'm gonna ask Mr. Alex Bruno to weigh in there for a minute. I did not see that statement, but I was told that Mr. Alex Bruno was in support of Lady V being road match queen, road match monarch. Alex Bruno, please help me this morning in terms of giving me your own perspective on just what is going on with the latest controversy, Lady V versus Sai for road match. Alex Bruno.
Matt Pelty Jr.
How are you, sir?
Very well. I'm going to have to study you to see exactly how you do what you do, because you have a way of doing stuff the way that nobody else can. And you seem to be wanting to rope me into a controversy this morning, boy.
Alex, I am asking you to comment based on what many told me were your Facebook remarks, so we could start there.
Yeah, I made some remarks on my Facebook page last evening where I asked why hasn't Lady V been awarded the road match title, and I also said that though there was not a...
So are you telling me that you were not aware that Sai was elected, nominated for the road match by the Dominica Calypso Association?
No, not at all.
Oh, but that happened since last week.
I didn't know. No, I don't think. Well, I'm close to the association. I'm a member of the association. I should have heard or known. I'm sorry if he was awarded and I posted something after that.
Okay. So what did you post?
I last evening I put up a little Facebook post which suggested that Lady V should be awarded road match monarch of Dominica 2017 based on my own observation of things on the road. Yes, Kaiso was not generally played, but whenever it was played, she got the better of the play. I mean, if the road match was being judged at the Calypso finals, I think Sai would won that day because he was big on the final night as a guest artist.
Mm-hmm.
But generally, Lady V carried the competition. I think she won easily. And so on my post on Sunday, I just suggested that she should have been crowned already. I didn't even expect to be in a controversy this morning. So if Sai was called Road Match Monarch before my post, I'm sorry. I didn't really mean to create any issues. But I really honestly saw it as Lady V. And based on the comments, based on me observing Carnival, based on what I've been hearing, based on what I've been seeing, and based on the play on the road. So if the association said otherwise, I would like to withdraw my comment that I made following the statement. But I really didn't know that it was made already. I'm sorry.
Well, no, but if now that you know, Alex, because we've been told that was selected on the road, and you're saying before, and maybe even during, you would have heard Lady V being played on a number of occasions. We have to be clear with this. Pre-Carnival, this was clearly Lady V's title. That's it. Because if we use the road match, we have to go back on that. But Alex, it's clear that there was not a unanimous decision from the DCA, and some people are now saying, well, we will not sign any check because we're not happy with that decision.
But Matt, you really, I'm really oblivious to the facts that's going on here. I'm a member of the DCA. I'm a passionate supporter of our movement, and I really never even discuss the matters of the DCA on radio. I'm just talking to you now because I did a Facebook post, and I thought I didn't know there was any controversy. Honestly,
and we respect that right now.
So what I'm saying is, right, based on my observation, based on my feedback from people, I suspect it was Lady V. I didn't know there was any announcement made, prior to my notice. And so if I am fueling the flame of controversy, I'm really sorry. I don't wish to do that to Calypso, to Sai, or to Lady V. I just made an innocent post, it's a fait accompli to me that she would have been awarded the title of Road Match Monarch of Dominica based on the airplay on the road. Remember, the road match title is not granted by favor or to you if you were popular or not. It's what was played on the road Carnival Monday and Tuesday. So even if Lady V was big throughout the season and she wasn't played on Carnival Monday and Tuesday, or Sai vice versa, it goes that way. So, but based on my own observation, listening, and based on what people have said, based on the commentaries and the comments, it seems like Lady V enjoyed more play on the road than any other Calypsonian, including Sai. So if that's what it is, that's what I said on Sunday, like last evening. And I realized there were quite a few views and hits and remarks and comments on my post. I now understand why. I guess it's the controversy that I started, but I'm really sorry if I did start it. If Lady V didn't get it, so be it. I guess the association knows better.
No, when you say the association, because I'm telling you now, based on the information that we have received, that there are some members of the DCA, the Dominica Calypso Association, who are not happy, and they say, you know what, I'm not going to sign this check. I'm not happy with what is going on.
And I do not know about that. And if had I been an executive member on the DCA and the DCA took a position, I would have to go with it and I would sign the check. So I'm asking whoever has to sign the check, go ahead, sign the check and pay whoever was awarded. I am always in conformity and in unanimity with the individuals who work with my association.
But based on Alex Bruno and Alex Bruno alone, you would have given this to Lady V.
I think it was a no-brainer. I do not think there was even a question to deliberate on, because she carried the spirit of Carnival with that song throughout. And in addition to that, she got more play on the road. I do not know who was listening where, but where I listened and from the comments that I got and feedback from all and sundry, it looked like her. So again, with my ignorance, I'm sorry that I created. Hopefully, it wasn't me. But I'm sorry about the controversy.
I don't think you were the one creating the controversy. You were just expressing your opinion, my brother.
Which we all have a right to do in a democracy, which is what I did with the when I posted my comments on my Facebook page. I really meant no harm to my association, to my executive.
Well, if some members are saying, well, I'm the signatory there, and I'm not going to sign the check, that creates another controversy.
No. In that case, the check should be signed, and if it is signed, he should get paid, and he should get paid right away.
No. We have to determine who are the members of the committee there that determined that Sai won that road match.
Well, you cannot know that. You may not know that. I don't think I would even advise them to say that either.
Oh, okay.
I think it should stop here and now. If Sai is it, Sai, give him his check, and let the thing be written in the history books, and let's move on. And there's no controversy.
Well, according to you, Alex, there's none, but to some members of the DCA, the executive members, yeah, maybe, because I'm hearing from reports that Kelly, the ghost, who's the treasurer, is not happy with what is going on.
I do not know about that.
You will not know things like that, Alex. You leave that to people like myself, okay? Thank you.
I do not know. And even if I knew, Matt, I would certainly not discuss it publicly with you or anyone else.
I would not expect you to, Alex.
But Matt, it's all good. It's all good, and I really wish. If it is I, congratulations to my brother and friend. No love lost or no lost love. All in the interest of Kaiso. But when I put up my post last evening, I didn't know that the decision had already been made to award Sai as the road match champ for 2017. That's the case. Enough love. Lady V, try next time. We were big this year, but I guess I didn't see the way the others saw it. And again, Matt, for the record, if my post created any controversy or fueled the flames of controversy, I'm sorry, I didn't mean it.
You were not aware, Alex Bruno.
I wasn't aware. I really.
But it appears that there are other members of the DCA on your side.
Well, I guess there's some for you and there's some against you.
All right, let's find out what's going on, Alex Bruno. Thank you for Lincoln, man. Lincoln, I heard you have a big episode coming up on Patrick John. We should talk about that sometime.
Yeah, let's do that. It's something that is, people really should listen to this.
All right, my brother.
You cannot afford to miss this one. We will talk about it some other time, man.
Take care.
Bye.
All right, good.
Football. The Dominica Football Association presents the grand opening of the Domlec Women's Football League on Saturday, March 11th at the Newtown Playing Field from 3 p.m. The day begins with a short opening ceremony with addresses coming from invited guests, then followed by a grand soccer-rama. Big prizes up for grabs. So calling on men, women and children. In fact, come support women football at the Newtown Playing Field Saturday, March 11th from 3 p.m.
Okay, let's take a few phone calls. I know you want to comment yourself, right? 8:29 is the morning time. Let's take a phone call. Hello.
Hey, Matt, good morning.
How you doing, my brother?
Matt, I'm not doing too good if that's what I'm hearing there. Yeah, because, Matt, no, something doesn't make sense, you know.
What doesn't make sense? Tell me.
Matt, back in the day, when you had organizations like COC, Carnival Organizing Committee, and you had Georgian done on the road for whether it was road match, whether it was best ban and all that kind of thing. You had judges in strategic areas, let's say on Kennedy Avenue, in strategic areas on which is Independence Street now, which was Queen Mary Street before, on King George's Street, and then when the ban was passed on Old Street, then you had judges somewhere around when it was passing on the little back road there, Hanover Street. They were doing the same thing. Today, in this day and age, we cannot come up with a road match by a point system. Matt, this is not good. This is a failure of the whole organization. You cannot have people giving you different vibes from their perspective. I could be on Kennedy Avenue watching Carnival and I hear one set of songs. Another person could be on King George's Street and hear another set of songs. Another person could be on Independence Street and hear another set of songs. So if it has to be judged by that, then you have a problem there. It has to be a point system, and then you tally everything. Every judge in every strategic point comes together, and they give you their score sheet, and then you come up with the road match. There should be no controversy over whose road match. We are going backwards, and that is unacceptable. Have a good day.
Football. The Dominica Football Association presents the grand opening of the Domlec Women's Football League on Saturday, March 11th at the Newtown Playing Field from 3 p.m. The day begins with a short opening ceremony with addresses coming from invited guests, then followed by a grand soccer-rama. Big prizes up for grabs. So calling on men, women and children. In fact, come support women football at the Newtown Playing Field Saturday, March 11th from 3 p.m.
All right, let's take another phone call there. Hello, talk to me.
Good morning, Matt.
Morning to you, sir.
Yes, Matt. Matt, I don't know what is the controversy about the respect to selecting a road match person. Because, Matt, there is no criteria per se, but the only criterion is that if the song was played on the road on Monday and Tuesday. That's the only thing we know. And so we have known that in the past. I mean, Many times people have been crowned road match king or whatever, or queen, and we have had no controversy. But what I'm saying is that, Matt, with respect to the decisions, Matt, in the absence of judging scout, that would have been difficult to arrive at, because if you don't have people actually judge on the road, you're not getting real results. But my own perspective, though, Matt, is that really, I've heard more of, let's say, Lady V's song on the road with respect to playing. But and nationally, by the way, that song has been popular, but it's not that they're looking for on the road, talking about the Monday and Tuesday. And at some point, it appeared that Ty's song really played, to an equivalent, but really she may have edged out in a sense, because, to be honest, in every corner I went, whether you are the bars or alongside the road, or whether it's a vehicle, or whether it's the bands on the road, I think that her song was most played that day. But at the end of the day, there should be no controversy. And whether or not Ty has been declared, the winner, there's still no controversy, because in the absence of judging scouts, you would have that. So the check should be signed. And by the way, what does the winner have to do with check not signing? You have a winner declared, sign the check and move on. And by the way, the solution to have a better management of the Calypso Association, my view is that they should remove that executive. It's as simple as that. Thanks for the opportunity.
Remove the executive?
Yes. And by the way, they are living on a grace period, because remember, they're supposed to have had a new executive before the carnival. But given that carnival was so close, and so just leave everything as is. But soon we'll hear that the meeting, the AGM will convene. It's supposed to have the annual general meeting. They don't give them a grace period to move on, because of the fact that carnival was very close. But this time around, I think the Calypso Association members should look into, because this executive has been there. They have been there for a long while now. And I mean, year and year they do the same thing. I'm not saying that all members are bad, but to be honest, when you get so accustomed to things, you just do what you want. And I believe that they need a change that help.
Caller, thank you very much. It's your opinion there. 8:33 is the morning time. We take another phone call. We're moving on to a different subject in a few minutes there. Hello.
I'm calling this morning because I'm very angry, Matt.
Why are you angry?
Because, Matt, the reason why I'm angry, because Lady V deserves the road march. Not because she's from Funko, Lady Ghetto. Everything is really back to front in that country. Thank you. Bye-bye.
Thank you. Bye-bye to you. It's, as I said, 8:34 in the morning. This is the Hot Set, Dominica's most talked about talk show. We're taking another phone call. We're moving on in a few minutes. I'm hoping that this controversy is resolved in the next few days. Hello.
Hi, good morning.
Morning to you, yes.
Yes, I just want to say to Kelly the girl, the Calypso Association does not belong to you. It is not your money, and you should sign that check. Sign, you are my king, you are my monarch, and you are my road march king. Sign that check, Kelly. It's not your money. Just give it up.
Well, we'll have to find out just what is going on with that check. We'll let you know just what is going on. I knew that it would be difficult for what you're grudging me for read the road match, since it was overplayed and killed. So by Monday and Tuesday jump up, it was not the dominant and most played song. The Calypso Association must understand that Calypso does not belong to the executive, but to the people. That's a WhatsApp message. Hello.
Hi, good morning.
To you.
Lady V is my friend, but to be honest, Matt, her song did not play on Carnival Monday and Tuesday.
All right, so you think Sai deserve that?
Sai deserve his road match. I'm king. Give it to him.
Well, we have seen in the past joint road match winners. That might be a simple solution. Somebody suggesting moving forward. Hello.
Morning.
Morning.
Yes, Matt. A lot of times, Matt, I think the Calypso Association is too corrupt. Why not tie them? Because one time they had a freeway tie.
Mm-hmm.
Right? So if there's a controversy, they should be tied. It should be shared. And this association is too corrupt. They need to be booted out of there. But besides that, right, there are figures they have been giving you on radio. When I check those figures, Matt, this Calypso Association is cheating out the Calypso, and they're not doing a good job. The Calypso is not developing. They need to go.
It's so 8:36. Another opinion there. Hello, this is the Hot Set.
Yes, Matt, good morning.
To you, sir.
Yeah, Matt, some time ago when I said that Lady V should not end up on all those shows, you know, that I did not like her. But I knew it, Matt. That song was being played too much, too early. So it killed it. Good morning.
But in the past, we have seen songs played over and over again and still made road match. I'm saying not enough calypsos were played on the road. I think that's the biggest problem. And, you know, a number of persons have been suggesting that the Dominica Calypso Association should invest in some trucks on the road Monday and Tuesday, and we will see more calypsos being played. It's not fair to calypso. Hello, talk to me.
Hello, good morning. Is it being judged from the Tuesday or the entire carnival? Because
Monday and Tuesday road match. The name says it all.
Yeah, but road match should be for the whole carnival, not just Tuesday and Monday.
Well, again, the name says it all. Road match. Okay, that should be Monday and Tuesday. But if there is a change of policy, we will see. Hello, talk to me.
Good morning.
To you, sir.
Well, we're on Calypso, so let me say a few things on Calypso here.
No, we're talking road match. We don't want to stray away too much this morning, okay? So stick to the road match theme this morning.
I know.
Thank you.
Matt, with regards to the road match, King, it is my, view that it is easy to have a tie in road match. Unlike the judging of the Calypso Monarch, it is very easy to get a tie in the road match. All right? Because songs are going to be played maybe for the same duration and stuff like that. So it's easy to get a tie. But my concern here is with regards to the Calypso King. We cannot discuss that now because you're only discussing the road match.
Well, we'll discuss it another time. Okay, 8:38. Let's stick to that road match theme this morning for a few minutes. We will wrap it up. Hello.
Yes, good morning.
Morning. How are you?
I'm doing fine, Matt. Matt, when I walk around the road, because I go from corner to corner and not really jumping up, just listening, Matt. In the bars, in some little roadside corner bars, you maybe hear Lady V song playing. But Matt, on the road itself, when the certain high fives were there, you more or less hear Sai song playing. So all Kelly have to do is give Sai his check. Calypso Association money is not your own. You can determine who you give in check and who you not giving check. Have a blessed day. Bye-bye.
Have a blessed day. I'll try my very best sometime this morning to get a perspective from the Dominica Calypso Association and its PRO observer, Davidson. How are you this morning? I hope you can put some things in perspective for us this morning. We're going to come back right after this.
Football. The Dominica Football Association presents the grand opening of the Domlec Women's Football League on Saturday, March 11th at the Newtown playing field from 3 p.m. The day begins with a short opening ceremony with addresses coming from invited guests, then followed by a grand soccer-rama. Big prizes up for grabs. So calling on men, women and children. In fact, come support women football at the Newtown playing field Saturday, March 11th from 3 p.m.
Before Labour fall,
information from cabinet was brought over to Eugene Charles.
Never before heard tales and narratives of the fall of the Patrick John administration.
I want to make it fundamentally clear.
Big questions left unanswered.
Do you all, any one of you here, believe that I should resign? First man to answer was, this is Christian. Christian said, no, you should not resign. You have done no wrong. It's true. Due diligence was not committed at the time, and therefore people took advantage of that.
So you're not accepting that you heard?
Man.
Well, obviously.
No, I accept the man on face value.
On face value?
Yeah, he had the money.
Listen, learn, understand. Before Labour fall.
That people don't know.
This Wednesday, 6 p.m.
Only on the big station. Only on Q95.
In other news, NBD has dropped their interest rate on vehicle loans to 7.5%.
Babe, turn up the volume on the radio.
The bank encourages customers to take advantage of this opportunity to get full financing on a vehicle with this low rate from now until May 15.
Did you hear that? 7.5% interest rate and full financing?
What's more, 3 lucky customers will get their vehicle license paid for up to 3 years. Visit a branch, call 255-2300 or go to nbdominica.com for more information and other terms and conditions.
Hun, I'm off to NBD.
Babe, wait for me.
Apply for your vehicle loan today. NBD, your partner, your bank.
For all your shopping needs at the best prices in Dominica, shop at S-Mart. Shop smart at S-Mart.
Shop smart at S-Mart. Give me some Lotto.
All my favorite snacks.
Shop smart at S-Mart.
I got a top-up flow and digital.
Shop smart at S-Mart.
Sunday to Sunday.
Open on holidays.
Shop smart at S-Mart.
So much fresh fruit and produce.
Good quality service. Yeah. Unlimited parking. Yeah. All the best products at S-Mart. You get the best prices.
Shop smart at S-Mart
For great prices and unlimited parking.
Entrance and exit on both Goodwin Road and Rawls Avenue. Open 7 days a week. Call 448-2340. Shop smart at S-Mart.
Smart.
Of course, the world continues to watch with the passport program of government. If you listen last evening to CBS 60 Minutes, there was an update. So it appears that we're not off the radar. It was a short update on CBS if you listened last evening.
Now an update on a story we called Passports for Sale. In January, Steve Croft reported how some small countries earn revenue selling passports, even diplomatic passports, to a rogues gallery of scoundrels, fugitives, and tax cheats. On the Caribbean island of Dominica, he spoke with Lennox Linton, a member of parliament.
I assume that you've asked the Prime Minister.
Yes.
How he ended up appointing these people diplomats.
Yes.
And what was the answer?
The Prime Minister doesn't answer those questions.
On Dominica, our story, the resulting political demonstrations, and the arrest of an international fugitive traveling on a Dominican diplomatic passport prompted some reforms. The Prime Minister has announced a tightening of passport rules. Now, wealthy foreigners seeking diplomatic passports will at least be checked for a criminal record and must report the source of their funds.
CBS continues to watch, and of course, you just heard it. Some new reforms announced by the Prime Minister in recent time. Opposition leader Lennox Linton continues to watch as well and continues to pay attention. Lennox Linton, good morning to you. You heard the Prime Minister speaking of regrets in the past few weeks there. And speaking of reforms as well, good morning to you, Lennox Linton.
Good morning, Matt Peltier. Good morning to the people of Dominica at home and abroad. Good morning to the people of Concord and Marigot. The village council in Marigot has been inaugurated today, Matt. That should be a very interesting event. You know, all around the country, especially in Labour Party constituencies, when village councils are inaugurated, you hear of all of this money that the village council is receiving to allow them to do this and to allow them to do that. In Marigot, where the village council is being inaugurated this afternoon, the new village council, there is a legitimate, reasonable expectation that there will be a major announcement of significant funding for the work of the village council in the area of small business development, in the area of road construction and reconstruction, in the area of resource centers, in the area of the playing fields in the area, and of course, with the correction that has to be done with the wave overtopping problem at the Melville Hall. And significantly, what is it that what role is it that the government sees for local government in the move towards ensuring that Marigot has a proper hospital as it did in the past. To the matter at hand, Matt, you notice there that the interpretation of the reforms that have been put in place by the Prime Minister, the reforms announced by the Prime Minister in terms of tightening up of passport rules, it's very specific. CBS is clear when in its understanding of what the Prime Minister put forward, when it says, now, quote, now wealthy foreigners seeking diplomatic passports will at least be checked for a criminal record and must report the source of their funds. You paid attention to that, Matt?
Yes, I'm listening.
So let me repeat it. Quote, now, this is CBS's interpretation. This is their takeout from the announcement by the Prime Minister that there's going to be a tightening up of the passport rules. Some reforms are coming to make things better. CBS concludes, quote, now, wealthy foreigners seeking Dominica, let me get it correct. Now, wealthy foreigners seeking diplomatic passports will at least be checked for a criminal record and must report the source of their funds. Let me tell you where this is coming from, Matt, so that the public has a proper understanding of what's going on. It was the Prime Minister on the 24th of February who told the nation that, quote, effective immediately, all non-nationals under consideration for diplomatic and consular appointments will be subjected to the same due diligence requirements as persons applying for citizenship under the Citizenship by Investment Program of Dominica, end of quote. And I hope you agree, Matt, that what this means is before the 24th of February 2017, the date of the announcement by the Prime Minister of these changes, there was no due diligence done on persons who were granted diplomatic passports, diplomatic and consular appointments.
That's fair to conclude based on the Prime Minister's statement.
The Prime Minister's statement goes on, quote again, so henceforth, not only would a prospective appointee have to meet and satisfy the requirements of the government of Dominica, but that person would also have to be cleared by an internationally rated and recognized global security agency that would carry out the necessary due diligence exercise, end of quote. Again, the statement here is indicating that up till now, all that has happened is that there are some unknown requirements of the government that have been satisfied, but not what you would expect to come from clearance by an internationally rated and recognized global security agency responsible for due diligence. Fair so far?
Very fair.
Good. The story I read online says this will include ensuring that the candidates do not have any criminal record, are of good reputation and proven competence, and possess the requisite skills necessary to function in the designated role. This is alarming, Matt. It's alarming because we're now learning, after all these denials, that everything was on the up and up. Everything was honky-dory. There was no problem. The Prime Minister, in this statement of the 24th of February, is admitting that he handed out diplomatic passports. He made diplomatic and consular appointments without ensuring that the candidates did not have a criminal record. He did so without ensuring that the candidates were of good reputation and had the competence, the skills necessary to do the diplomatic work that he was requesting them or the government was expecting them to do in the overseas territories. But here is the big one, Matt. Here's the big one, which is now we come into the CBS conclusion. Quote, where applicable, there must also be declarations on source of funds and disclosure of business activities of the proposed appointees. Now, you would understand why, based on the provisions of the 1961 Vienna Convention on Diplomatic Relations, that you would understand why a government making diplomatic appointments would want to know whether the person under consideration has any significant or any significant business or for-profit business in the territory where they are going to be representing Dominica. Because it is actually a violation of the Vienna Convention for anyone in the receiving state to be involved in significant for-profit business. So if you're considering somebody for a diplomatic appointment, it is necessary to ascertain or to satisfy yourself what business activities they're involved in and whether those business activities are in the receiving country. But after you get due diligence clearance, after all the background checks have been done on you and so on, and you are cleared as a fit and proper person, why would the government want a declaration on source of funds in the consideration for your diplomatic and consular appointment and/or consular appointment? Doesn't this tell you, Matt, that all along, in consideration for diplomatic and consular appointments, there were funds involved. Funds were changing hands. But the government did not know the source of those funds that were changing hands for the diplomatic and consular appointments.
It's clear?
It's crystal clear. But this is the same government that has issued that statement that says it was not involved in exchanging money for diplomatic passports. And the evidence in this statement issued by the Prime Minister on the 24th of February 2017 is crystal clear that they had not concerned themselves with the source of funds engaged in the consideration for diplomatic and consular appointments, but they're going to do so now. Notice that the statement of reforms and tightening up says nothing about we are not going to sell diplomatic passports, or we're not going to exchange money for diplomatic passports, or there's going to be no pecuniary consideration. There's going to be no consideration of cash or kind for diplomatic passports, no gifts, nothing. As a matter of fact, we will criminalize people who seek to benefit from handing out diplomatic passports. There's no such thing in the statement. All it tells us is, right now, there must be a declaration of the source of funds to be used in the consideration for diplomatic and consular appointments. And this confirmation of something that the government has persistently and dishonestly denied is even more reason why Roosevelt Skerrit should resign, and he should resign immediately. Because he's going all around the world trying to crucify people for pointing out what is truth and what is fact. And then he comes in his own statement to confirm, yes, monies have been exchanged for diplomatic passports, except that we have not until now been concerned as to where the money has been coming from to pay for the diplomatic passports or to pay for the gifts or whatever other inducements have been necessary to secure those diplomatic passports, those diplomatic and consular appointments as well. So the scandal worsens. And while people have indicated, which I totally agree with, that all of this announcement of changes and reforms and so on is too little too late, look at what the rest of the world is hearing. In Dominica, we really didn't even pay attention to it. In Dominica, we didn't pay attention to it, no matter. We glossed it over. The Prime Minister said, oh, reforms are coming. But what was the Prime Minister really telling us? The Prime Minister was telling us in his statement, number one, he was telling us, and I want you to follow me. I want you to follow me very closely. Mr. Prime Minister was telling us that, first of all, since 2004, since he became Prime Minister in 2004, more than 13 years ago, he has been placing the diplomatic passports of Dominica, the CARICOM diplomatic passports issued by Dominica now, in the hands of rogues, in the hands of scoundrels, without due diligence checks, and with no interest in ensuring that those that he handpicked for diplomatic engagements had the skills and the competencies and did not have criminal records. That's number one. And number two, for that period, for over 13 years, Roosevelt Skerrit has been considering non-nationals for diplomatic and consular appointment without any declaration of the source of funds, which means he did not know and did not wish to know where the money was coming from to pay for the diplomatic passports and the diplomatic and the consular appointments. I don't think any nation wants a scandal that is bigger than that. And any nation has something of that scale sitting on their doorstep and will want to do nothing about it immediately. You cannot have a prime minister of a country anywhere in the world that is so reckless in his conduct in terms of how the country is seen and viewed and accepted in the global community. All of this, Matt, just shames our name as a rogue nation in the international community. Mr. Skerrit, you know, Matt, sat in the cabinet of Pierre Charles.
But given his statement, though, Lennox Linton, don't you think that the Prime Minister is expressing some regret? And some people might say, well, he has come forward and maybe, you know, he should be forgiven. Some people are suggesting that.
Matt, we have had enough of that foolishness. Mr. Skerrit is on a sympathy-seeking mission. He knows very well what he has done, going back to the days of Susan Oldie and Christopher Thompson, who received diplomatic passports from the Commonwealth of Dominica in exchange for monies that they told us went into the coffers of the Labour Party, but in respect of which a new organization and a new account with select operatives of the Labour Party, including Skerrit, were associated with $400,000, over $1 million EC dollars. He knew what he was doing from way back when. He knew what he was doing when he was taking passports of the Commonwealth of Dominica and hand-deliver diplomatic passports and hand-delivering them to his appointees, his hand-picked appointees in Greece, in Cyprus, and wherever else. And so, to come now, after you have had 13 years of this conduct, to say you're sorry, after you have had a number of years of shooting down concerns with what is happening, to say you're sorry, it just means you recognize you're cornered and you want public sympathy, and you expect public sympathy to get you off the hook. So you're creating all sorts of smoke and mirrors right now in order to escape scot-free. There's no scot-free escaping on this mat. Mr. Skerrit has to take responsibility for what he has done to the image and the standing of Dominica in the global community. And you know, Ambrose George sat in the cabinet of Pierre Charles with Roosevelt Skerrit. Ambrose George was on a trip to the United States, going to look for the Union Bank of America to set up correspondent banking relations for the National Bank. Julian Giraud on that trip was picked up, held by U.S. authorities, questioned, arrested, tried, jailed for money laundering, and Pierre Charles decided that because of the association of Ambrose George with a gentleman who was born in Dominica and who Ambrose George has known for many years, a gentleman who has served as president of the Dominica Labour Party, because Ambrose George was on the trip with him and said to have been associated with him, Ambrose George was fired from his cabinet position. He later returned to the cabinet. He sat in Roosevelt Skerrit's cabinet. And in 2008, when Ambrose George was found to be involved as a victim in a Nigerian 419 fraud scheme, Roosevelt Skerrit fired Ambrose George from his cabinet. Today, Roosevelt Skerrit is arrogantly claiming a right to do what he wants with the image of Dominica, but to remain as Prime Minister because the election of 2014 conferred the responsibility of leadership on him. And he's saying he will not go except by this and by that. Mr. Skerrit has no authority at all to hang on to a position in which he has disgraced the country, a position in which he has proven to be dangerous for Dominica, for the region, and for the world, and expect that the citizens of this country will just sit by and allow him to do what he wants. It is not he that must correct the problem. We must correct the problem. We, the citizens of this country, to whom Dominica belongs, we must correct the problem by getting him out of office. And that is why we're demanding his resignation. That is why we're calling on all civil society organizations to, in one voice, stand for country and say to this gentleman, you have done enough to shame and disgrace us. There is no more give the man a chance. It is time for you to go. Where else in the civilized world, Matt, could this level of disgrace be coming to a prime minister's office of a sovereign people? And the response is, let him decide. No, he cannot be allowed to decide what he's doing. We must decide what happens with him. And what has to happen with him is that he must go. The president of the country knows exactly what we're talking about, you know. Because the circumstance in which the president played a leadership role in changing a government in 1979 are significantly worse now than they were then. And this morning, all I'm doing again, Matt, is calling for good sense to prevail. It's calling for Charles Savarin, the president of Dominica, to apply the very same common sense and the very same love of country that he told us he was applying back in 79. and bring this country to right order without further delay. We cannot have any more admissions of guilt. We cannot have any more admissions of roguish conduct in the office of the Prime Minister and be sitting back saying, well, you know, give the man a break. We're sorry for him. He's not sorry, Matt. He's not sorry about what he has done. He is regretful that he has been caught, because this persistent behavior over more than a decade has served him extremely well. Now, this is why you're hearing all this talk surfacing now about properties here, properties over there. That's why you're hearing all this talk surfacing now about lawsuits and so on, intended to shut down people.
Well, you've heard in recent times, for the past week for sure, a lot of talk about allegations that, the Skerritts may be owning apartments in New York and the surroundings there. Of course, still needs to be answered somewhat. So we're digging a bit, but you've been hearing a lot of talk about that?
A lot of talk about that, Matt. But remember, when the Labour Party came into office in 2000, the Labour Party came on the platform of transparency and good governance, prevention of corruption. The Labour Party introduced the Integrity in Public Office Act in 2003, and then put it to sleep for 5 years, while members of the government went about the accumulation of wealth that cannot be explained by their legal income. A matter involving the violation of specific aspects of the Integrity in Public Office legislation was filed with the Integrity Commission. The Integrity Commission decided to investigate Roosevelt Skerritt as to whether or not he had an interest in the villas at Savanpai and used his position as the head of cabinet to grant concessions to the company that owns the villas, Glencore Property Development Limited. The lawyers for Mrs. Skerritt challenged the decision of the commission to investigate. And while that matter was before the court for interpretation, Mr. Skerritt used his majority, went into Parliament, changed the IPO legislation for the specific purpose of having a new commission that would that would set aside the investigation and the court action that was pending and the investigation into Mr. Skerritt's affairs. So it is not that we have not over the years tried to have safeguards for that kind of corrupt conduct in government. We've had it. But Mr. Skerritt has not only involved himself in the corruption that we're talking about, or that they spoke about and we're trying to defend against as a nation, but he has actually twisted the legislation to suit himself in the behavior that he's engaged in. And I think we have enough now. We've had more than enough now of the conduct of this gentleman to know that he's totally unsuitable to be Prime Minister, and his continued presence in office is just going to let Dominica go further and further down in the estimation of the global community. It's going to prevent us from moving forward, and it is time for him to go, Matt.
Thank you very much, Lennox Linton. Of course, I want to go back some time to a program on Kyrie FM, on The Hang, when Mr. or Sir Nanton Emmanuel clears the air on the Montfarrat issue, and now it appears that some people are trying to throw this international fugitive onto the bus. Let's listen to Mr. Emmanuel Nanton in his own words, and then we'll come back to some issue that has been surfacing for the past few days about possible ownership in New York of some properties there. I joined a colleague who tried to bring some perspective on that issue. Stick around and listen to Mr. Emmanuel Nanton on Montfarrat.
A special welcome back to all our listeners. With me, of course, on the telephone line is Emmanuel Nanton, who is head of the Citizen by Investment Program Unit. Good morning, Mr. Nanton, and welcome.
Good morning to you, Simeon. Good morning to the listeners. It's a pleasure being with you, talking to you this morning, and being live on here with you. A beautiful dumb day in Dominica.
Yes, certainly. Welcome. It's a pleasure to have you online too. Over the past few weeks,
stay tuned and take your notes, okay?
Position, of course. You have been mentioned almost every day in the media. Several other members of the delegation who traveled along with the Honorable Prime Minister. And much of the talk has been about My Dominica Trade House. What is My Dominica Trade House? What is going on? And can you just give the listeners an idea of what is really My Dominica Trade House?
Yes, Simeon, sometime last year, Dominica, somebody who applied for citizenship in Dominica visited the country and was impressed with the beauty, the splendor, and the loveliness of Dominica. Like, I happen to be somebody who is very wealthy, and as such, he felt that he wanted to do something for his new country. In Malaysia, he is originally not from Malaysia, but he lives in Malaysia, has been there for the last 12 years. And because of the work that he has done in Malaysia, he has been given the title as Datu in Malaysia. Datu is something similar to what we call Sir in Dominica. So in Dominica and Caribbean, in the English thing, we have Sir, where you're knighted and called Sir.
Right.
In Malaysia, there's a King of Malaysia, and the King of Malaysia honors people who have done well and call these people Datu.
All right.
So the guy has done very well for himself in Malaysia. He has been honored by the government, by the King of Malaysia, and he felt that he, being a citizen of Dominica, would like to make a contribution to the development of his new country. As such, he invited a group of us to Malaysia last year. Our Prime Minister was unable to go. I went there with you recall, Dr. Kenneth Daru,
right,
and I think Alec Lawrence, Attorney Alec Lawrence, who was the agent for this guy when he applied for citizenship. Of course, all due diligences were done, and the guy seemed to be in very good standing. When we went to Malaysia, he introduced us to a number of his friends, who themselves are wealthy people.
Right.
He introduced us to the government of Malaysia. We had discussion with ministers of Malaysia, with Dr. Mahathir, the former Prime Minister of Malaysia, who changed Malaysia from a third world country to what it is today. He's very well connected. So we had a number of discussions with people. We met with people like, for instance, with the brother of the King of Malaysia. We met with the owner of the Shangri-La Hotel, who the guy was trying to convince to come to do a project in Dominica. We met the owner of Hard Rock Cafe, with the owner of the Four Seasons Hotel. We met with a young family who themselves were multi-billionaires doing chicken production. The guy took us to the University of Lim Kok Wing. Lim Kok Wing University is one of the more popular business universities in the world, with a very practical program. In fact, if you go on Facebook, they are ranked number 5 in universities all over the world. And it's a very practical program. And he was talking to the owner of that school, who is a friend of his, and asked him if he should come and do something in Dominica as well. If we do a branch of Lim Kok Wing in Dominica. So Lim Kok Wing have branches all around the world. And Lim Kok Wing, incidentally, was the only school in Asia that Nelson Mandela accepted an honorary doctorate degree from after he came from prison. So there are a number of people all over the world who do business with Lim Kok Wing. They have branches in Europe, in Africa, and all around. In fact, they have a student population of about 150,000. 80% of the students there are foreign students, meaning that they're not from Malaysia, but they're from different parts of the world.
Yeah.
So they offered some scholarships to students in Dominica, and some students have already applied to the school, have gotten accepted, and will be leaving shortly for Malaysia. So that's where we are. In fact, when you would recall, when we came back from that trip, I recall coming back from that trip when I was in Antigua, talking to a Dominican girl who works at a bar there. And talking to a guy who was passing, and she said, "Oh, look, 2 of my Dominican friends." He said, "I know who they are." He said, "But they're in the news. They were in the papers yesterday."
Yeah.
And you would recall the travel and the trip was well publicized.
Yes.
So there were stories on DNO. There were stories all over, including in the newspaper in Antigua. And all around the world.
Yes.
So people knew what we were doing.
Right.
And you would recall the Sally that the support of UWP gave on DNO with regards to that particular trip.
Yes.
So when we went to Malaysia, of course, the media covered our trip, and there were pictures taken from the time we left the plane till we went back on the plane.
Right.
So there were pictures of taken right through. So the guy who organized the trip, he decided to do a trade house to promote Dominica.
Right.
And he called it My Dominica Trade House.
Right.
So My is an acronym used as Malaysia. So if you look at promotion in Malaysia, if you look at Malaysia, mostly in Malaysia, they say is My this or My that. My not meaning personal, but My coming from Malaysia. So the guy opened an office for the promotion of Dominica as his contribution to let Dominica be known more around the world, and he called it My Dominica Trade House. In Malaysia, Dominica Trade House.
Right.
It's a private firm owned by the individual and his partner or partners. And when we went at their invitation. So the trip was sponsored by the individual who met the cost and expenses while we were over there. So subsequent to that, for independence, they decided that he wanted to celebrate the independence of Dominica. In Malaysia, they put on something. They invited different people. I think Francis Brown represented the government of Dominica there. You would recall again, because of the work that we did, we went back to Malaysia. The Prime Minister decided to pay a visit to Malaysia a few months ago.
Yes.
And he went with the Minister of Trade, Colin McIntyre, and Dr. Donald Peters, the President of the State College, to follow up discussions with the University of Limpopo Wing on how they could look at setting up in Dominica. So that's where we are. Now, you know Bruce Vasquez, the person he is. He's not somebody who wants to go and blah, 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 until he's sure that everything is there and going through. So he went on to see for himself, felt relatively satisfied, and is waiting to ensure things go the way that they're going before he goes out and blah, blah.
Right.
So it is a simple thing. So you see people traveling. If you travel on an official trip, the people, I guess they have been so much in the wilderness. And if you travel on an official trip, then you're provided with official transportation and outriders.
Yeah, exactly.
In fact, when we were in China, they actually closed the road for about an hour before we go anywhere, because they ensured that all the roads we were going to were cleared out. You have how many lines of vehicles, different types of vehicles that they use, whether it is Mercedes or Rolls Royce or whatever the vehicle the government used to carry officials.
Yes.
So people see you representing your country, and they see the service that is provided for you, and they feel, it's something personal.
Yes.
When you go out to represent your country, of course, if you're single, you expect me to go in jeans and khaki.
Right.
I'm representing a sovereign nation, a sovereign state called Dominica. I'm looking at investment for them, and of course, your dress is a normal business suit.
Yes.
So you do what you do, and you're looking at promotion and advancement and development of Dominica.
Yes.
So the guy in his Malaysia Dominica Trade House employed a number of people doing research on Dominica. They have done an excellent research representative to the Prime Minister on the health systems of Dominica, because he had a team of researchers on health doing the work for him, including hospitals, how many hospitals there are, how many there should be, location and so on, kind of equipment that should be provided, and he himself making a contribution of what he could do along those lines to assist in the healthcare and health system of Dominica. And if you have Dr. Donald Peters, he will tell you how impressed he was with how academia and how academics could look and do research and come up with things that so credible, the kind of information that they have.
Yes.
So the guys discussed with a number of investors in coming to invest in Dominican different things, in hotel, in tourism. In fact, up to yesterday, I would say I got an email from one of his friends who was interested in looking at a hotel, and is very interested in Dominica to look at the airport situation and see how they could contribute towards expanding the airport in Dominica, or doing something along that line to facilitate the kind of hotel that they're looking at doing. Now, you don't go talking of those things left, right, and every day.
Yes.
Right? Because sometimes when you're in government, people talk and they talk a lot, but you want to see them deliver.
Yes.
So we don't feel necessary that you have to be on the air saying look so, willy, la, la.
Yeah.
But you continue to go out and look for opportunities for the advancement and development of the Commonwealth of Dominica, the land of our birth, the land that we love so much, and the land that we pledge our lives to contribute and develop.
Yes, certainly.
And nothing shall stop us with the effort, the zeal, the vigor that we have in our hearts, the passion that we have in our souls, to continue to ensure that the elevation and the development and the advancement of this land of our birth continues.
Yes.
So people who are myopic, people who have no vision for themselves, people who have no idea what's happening in the outside world, people who have not seen the transformation of different places in the world, and see how you can emulate those in Dominica.
Yes.
Then you don't have to worry with them, because after all they want to do is ensure that you fail, ensure that Dominica remains where it was, and hoping that if that happens, then they'll get a chance at leadership. But tell them for me that I say no. Tell them that the Dominica Labour Party will continue to work, will continue to seek opportunities for the advancement and growth of the Commonwealth of Dominica, so that all people will have a better future. Our country will have a better future, and we shall rise. We shall continue to rise the way that we have been doing for the last 15 years.
No, with regard to the Citizen by Investment Program, it is a legit program by law governing by the government of Dominica, right?
We have had the citizenship program for the last 23 years.
Yes.
It started off under Eugenia Charles. It continued under Edison Shenfield James, Roosevelt Douglas, Pierre Charles, and Roosevelt Scarrett. We have one of the better programs in the world, I would dare say. And we've decided in today of visa-free access into the Schengen states. It's going to make the program even more attractive. So I could tell you that we are looking at not just doubling the amount of money that's coming into the coffers of Dominica, but we are also looking at expanding a number of areas, including the hotel and tourism sectors. We have one of the most exciting projects being built going to be built in Bell Hall by Range, the Kipinski project. And there are a number of other hotels that we're looking at, and things are looking very good. And I'm sure Dominica will be very pleased with the work that's happening, that will happen under this program to transform Dominica, to transform the tourism sector, and to provide jobs for the young people of Dominica.
Well, I want to thank you this morning for really coming in and clearing the air on this particular matter, because it's been really, for several days, these guys continue to say all sorts of madness, and they've called it corruption for that matter. I've never heard more nonsense than that in my entire life. But I'm sure that the work that you are doing, the Prime Minister, and also locally, Emmanuel Anton, we also have local agencies who are also involved in the promoting of the program as well.
Yeah, there are a number of agents on the Ecosystem program. A number of them are locals. There are some of them have partners who they work with outside. But there are a number of people who are promoting, who are interested in doing it. And the government has ensured that we do not sell out and give an exclusive thing to any Henley or anything, so that only they can sell the passports or can promote, can do what they're doing, and then do what they want at the back. So Dominicans continue to be promoters. So there are a number of people in Dominica who are promoters. A number of the lawyers here are promoters. There are people who are not involved in law who are promoters themselves. So there are a number of people, there are a number of agents who are promoting the program and bringing in applicants for the country under this very important sector. It is one that is widely thing all around the world. We are recognized as maybe the best and definite program in the Caribbean, and one of the best in the world, and I'm sure we'll continue to grow and expand. Now that we have a new unit with different members of staff, and things are looking well.
Thank you very much, man. I appreciate you.
All right, that was Mr. Emmanuel Nanton. I think almost 2 years ago speaking.
All the best to the listeners. I certainly hope.
Mr. Emmanuel Nanton, I have never heard you since this international exposure. After you dined and wined, have you thrown Mr. Monfared under the bus? Just a question to you. After singing its praises there, and the promises made. Let's take a few phone calls. Hello, talk to me.
I say President doesn't go resolve with humanity. Mr. Patrick Blessings,
You laugh at that, huh? I just took you back in history there a minute.
Matt, call his name. The individual. He is not from Malaysia. the one who was responsible for paying the trip. What is his name? And making the people believe like the world is a big place. No, the world has become very, very small. Or they don't know how international business work. Or they sit down in Dominica and they will not deter us. The land that we love so much, the country of our bank, not birth. You should use bank, the country of our bank, not birth. But these guys think, the world is very stupid. And what I am glad, and thank you, Matt. You see, he was quick to come in his defense, not in Montfarret. Because you play it over, you listen, the man never mentioned the name of Montfarret, Matt. He never mentioned, the name. So I am saying, my brother, no, the scandal is global, regional, local. Why not come and say something? According to you, he throw him on the bus. It's very interesting, Matt. They're doing well for themselves, not for Dominica. They will not prevent us from going out there and doing well for Dominica, the country of our birth, blah, blah, blah. No, man, all you went out there and all you feathered all your nests. No feathers are flying in all your faces, or you're getting choked on them, and all you're refusing to talk, because if all you open all your mouth too much, the feathers will really choke all you. Thank you, sir. Blessing.
Thank you very much. Thank you very much. And of course, that interview sometime on May 29th, 2015. The archives are there, Mr. Emmanuel Nanton. What do you have to say now? Did you know nothing about he being a fugitive at that time? I'm just asking. Hello, talk to me.
Morning to you.
Yes.
And morning to your listeners. I want to ask Emmanuel Nanton some question this morning based on what I heard from his own mouth on the other radio station which you played the clipping a while ago. And as a patriot, as a Dominican, it is my right to question those in authority. And I will start. I want to ask Emmanuel Nanton, did Montfarret made any contribution to Dominica? And if yes, what was the contribution to the Commonwealth of Dominica? Was it cash? And if yes, it was cash, how much? When did you meet Montfarret? Who introduced you to Montfarret? What was the nature of the discussion you had with Montfarret? Did you know he was coming to Dominica? Mr. Emmanuel Nanton, did you know that Montfarret was coming to Dominica? Mr. Emmanuel Nanton, did you know he was Mr. Emmanuel, did you know that Montfarret was a wanted man? Emmanuel Nanton, I'm asking you this question. Did you do due diligence on Montfarret? And if the answer is yes, where is the evidence to substantiate that you do due diligence? I want to continue because it's questions upon questions that I am asking. Who made the arrangement, Emmanuel Nanton, for Montfarret to come to Dominica? Do you know who made the arrangement for him to come to Dominica? Where was Montfarret landed in Dominica? Was it in Canefield Airport or Melvin Hall Airport? Was it big broad daylight or was it in the dark? Montfarret was landed in Dominica. Who drove Montfarret around? Emmanuel Nanton, I'm asking you, who drove Montfarret to Dominica all over? I'm asking Mr. Emmanuel Nanton, the vehicle in which Montfarret had, who within the camp of the Labour Party have that vehicle as I speak to you now? Mr. Emmanuel Nanton, did you benefit personally from Montfarret? I am asking questions. And Mr. Emmanuel Nanton, who got the place in Mont Daniel to secure Montfarret? I am asking those questions, and I'm hoping at the end or before the end of the day, Emmanuel Nanton would have the guts to come out there and clear the air based on that, because he said about the man made some contribution.
And made promises for hospitals as well.
So they have. We have to be clear. Matt, you see that thing there with that passport selling to crooks and criminals? It's not about Roosevelt's carrot, you know. It is to do with Roosevelt's carrot, and his cabinet must go. The incompetent people like Emmanuel Nanton and all the other advisors, they must go. The incident of Dominica in the White House must go. All those that was traveling with Roosevelt's carrot, like the one at the college and McIntyre and all of them that was traveling left, right, and center, every one of them must go. Ambrose George went when he traveled with a money launderer. Ambrose George was dismissed from the cabinet, although there was no evidence to substantiate that Ambrose was money laundering. There was no evidence. But the mere fact he accompanied and he traveled with that criminal, Matt, he paid the price. Today you have a leader of a country. Have Monfares in Dominica. The world is looking for Monfares, and it's okay for you. I want Emmanuel Nanton to ask, to think, and I'm not asking you those questions that I ask. I'm asking you to play it from time to time. Call Emmanuel Nanton, put those questions to him, and let us hear from him.
All right, caller, thank you very much. It's 9:32 in the morning. We'll take a call and we'll take a break, and we'll come back. 449-3095-96 and 97. Somebody's asking me, where is this X-Trail belonging to Monfared? Where is it packed at this time? Do you know? Do you know, Mr. Emmanuel Nanton? Also, why, somebody's asking, did he ask the driver to bring it to him after Monfared left? Is it still somewhere you could see it? 9:33.
Yes, Matt. Good morning.
Yes, sir.
Matt, all along we have been told by the government, and the government has due to know with certainty that due diligence has been conducted with all respects, whether it's CBI or diplomatic passport. That they have said. Remember when the CBS news came out, 60 Minutes, they were blaming Lennox, and they said that due diligence was done. So they established that. Now the Prime Minister told us in a recent address that I ordered a consultant, not last year, not now, but since last year, to look into CBI and to give recommendation. Matt, so if you have done due diligence body because you established that, what then are you doing consultancy for to rearrange the program? And now we are hearing about reform. So you tell me now that the consultancy is over now and you get recommendation, now you're doing reform. Matt, the order of the day should be, consultation, reform, and then strengthen your due diligence. But if the government does due diligence, they had no reform and no consultancy or no consultation with respect to improving the program. Now we are told, because they that told us, they who said that due diligence was done, they were convinced that they had done it right. Now you're telling me that you ordered a consultant to look into the program, because, and so how you did due diligence there? I mean, had your due diligence been done, that would not necessitate or warrant a consultant. And then today they made the reform. But you see that kind of thing there? You see that kind of game that's going on there? That to me is a game, and the government must go. Because the point is, we should not stop sounding that call, They must go, because we are not going to get it right. For us to get it right, these guys have to be removed. They must go, Matt. That is it. They must go. Thank you.
Thank you, too. Hello, talk to me.
Hello, Matt.
Salve.
I go to Matt.
Mola, man.
Comment vous êtes?
Mola.
Bah, moi, tout ça. Ou pas tellement, Emmanuel a parlé. Ou pas qu'à ouais, non, là. Il même un bon boss. Ou pas, il m'a dit, non, là, la ramati. Ou pour tout, bah, bien, non, là, avec des messages, ou la radie, non, là, ou pas connaître, non, là. Ou ni tout bien, non, là, à Kaï, ou Skyrit, zon tout, là, les Clarence, les Clarence, zon ni bien, non, là, à Kaï, zo. Avec, non, là, l'argent, zon pièce pas radie, ni et ni bi. So, kabak, mes choses, avec Simon Albert, pas qu'à même de nom, là, en chection. Mat, sous ça, ça qui a les guabés là, yo mette combien pole light en le playing field guabé avec guabé, pas des pièces côté là, yo ka jouer football là, non? Bon, on live pour Eric à laver. So là, vous regardez, on gobe pour monter tête monde, il pas même ni light. Il pas même ni light, pas le gobe pas ça même parler. Il pas même ni light. Nous ni comme Moumou Dominique là quand il parle ni style Ever Simon Albertio. Ever yo pas ka bien Dominique. Yo ka d'accord yo que moi Ever quitter bien Dominique, quitter yo que bon bien descendre battre Ever, yo menti. Yo bon yo menti.
Yeah man.
All right, we gotta come back. 2016 Dominica Calypso. DominicaTradeHouse.com puts everything in perspective.
Somebody important in my country. When it came, I got my opportunity, but wasted the chasing after money. Now my own people presenting me my daily troubles overburden me. I'm in too deep, but I can't quit. Yet my biggest blunder, from which I can recover. Was my trip to Malaysia, and the internet scandal that was born there. Oh Lord, you can find me on the web. Lay your money down. Sooner done than say you're a king of corruption. Women in Macau, rich men in Sodom. Save me now from who I have become. Mothers, warn your children, don't do what I have done. A man online selling his nation. My Dominica Tradehouse.com.
We're following the trail of some ownership of some properties in New York. It's been making the rounds all weekend there. Let's take a break. We'll come back right after this.
In other news, NBD has dropped their interest rate on vehicle loans to 7.5%.
Babe, turn up the volume on the radio.
The bank encourages customers to take advantage of this opportunity to get full financing on a vehicle with this low rate from now until May 15.
Did you hear that? 7.5% interest rate and full financing?
What's more, 3 lucky customers will get their vehicle license paid for up to 3 years. Visit a branch, call 255-2300 or go to nbdominica.com for more information and other terms and conditions.
Hun, I'm off to NBD.
Babe, wait for me.
Apply for your vehicle loan today. NBD, your partner, your bank.
Football. The Dominica Football Association presents the grand opening of the Domlec Women's Football League on Saturday, March 11 at the Newton playing field from 3 p.m. The day begins with a short opening ceremony with addresses coming from invited guests, then followed by a grand soccer-rama. Big prizes up for grabs. So calling on men, women and children. In fact, come support women football at the Newton playing field Saturday, March 11 from 3 p.m. Don't miss it.
We're trying to follow a story here, and I'm hoping that my good friend there, Trevor Johnson, who's been following this story very, very closely, help us put this in perspective as it relates to the ownership or alleged ownership by some top people in Dominica. Trying to follow the dots. Trevor Johnson, good morning to you, sir.
Good morning, Max. Man.
How you doing? It seems that Dominica, the world is following some development as it relates to the alleged ownership of some, wealthy properties in New York. Well, what can you tell us?
Well, over a year ago, I heard about some property ownership in the States,
right?
And in New York. So I got connected to an investigator, and he has provided me for a report. He's been working for about a year on this one, and he's provided me. He had to do some background check. So he provided me a report, a very detailed report.
Mm-hmm.
So on the report, the personal information. The report was on Melissa.
Okay.
Right. So that's Melissa C. Skerritt or Melissa Popon Skerritt. All right. She was born on May 4th, 1981. She's now 45 years old. Right.
So what have you found out? What have you found out?
Well, he gave me he really tracked her from the time she may have arrived in the state, or she had addresses in the state. So far, what I'm going to tell you so far, I'm not going to give you the full details of the report. I'm going to give you a slight breakdown. All right? She was connected to 4 addresses in New York. The first being 514 11th Street. That's in Corona, in New York. All right? It is alleged that she was married to one Brendan K. Hyson and lived at that address with him. In fact, there was a lien for a tax warrant at that address for both Melissa and Brendan. All right? I have a copy of the tax lien. It was settled on October 2010, October 21st, 2010. All right? And she was connected to the address up until 2010. There's another property is in Tyler Road, West Hempstead. Melissa was connected to that address up until 2014. The address is connected to the Ifields, and my investigators indicated that it is a family friend, relative of the Popons, and they're originally from Goodwill. So that's not a property owned by her. The other one is 475 40th Avenue, That's Long Island City in New York. It is alleged that it was a rented apartment. So it's not she doesn't own that property, based on the information relayed to me. And then there's these properties, 4630 Center Boulevard Apartment, 101, Long Island City, New York, and the zip code is 11109. All right, Melissa is connected to that address as of July 2016. All right, up to this present day. All right, and of course, so let me just tell you something about this property. It was owned by Janet Allott, and was listed for sale, not for rent. It was never listed for rent. So I believe, in fact, this Jane Allott lived at that address, and she sold it, and it was listed for sale by Douglas Elliman Real Estate, and the agent being Alexander Pereira. The property was acquired by her in 2013 for $1.4 million. All right? And then it was sold to Poros Holdings LLC in Delaware in 2015, September early. There was a sale agreement in July 1st, 2015, and the property, the sale was closed in September 10th, 2015. Right? Poros Holdings Limited was registered on 27th May 2015. And it purchased, as I said, the apartment on September 2015. All right? And
what do you know about Poros?
Poros is a Delaware registered company. Delaware is like they call them onshore tax havens. In Dominica, we are referred to as offshore tax havens. So if you want to hide assets, you register your business in Delaware. All right? So anytime an American or a foreign scoundrel, as Lennox would call them, would refer to them as, they would hide their company in Delaware. Right? And that's all I'm going to say about Poros. I mean, Poros, P-O-R-O-S. And I've posted that online, and people have posted.
Come to their own conclusions.
Yeah, the definition of what Poros, the abbreviation Poros stands for. P-O and then R-O-S, Holdings. But I'll leave it. As I said, I have a detailed report. I want my good partner, Tony, to come out and talk about it first, and then I will talk, and then I'll release the rest of what I have. So I said Delaware is a tax haven. It's an onshore tax haven.
So why do you think, Trevor, that Dominicans, if you will, may be interested in that kind of information about these properties?
Well, many say it's connected to the address.
Okay.
We know that is a fact. She is connected to that address. The last date that she received correspondences at that address was January 27th this year. So we know that. We have that information. I've also been in contact with
and you say that these are expensive properties.
So yes, this is they sent me two documents listing the sale price of it, and one has it as $7.7 million, but I doubt that it is $7.7 million. I believe based on all the documents that I've received, because he sent me about three. I received the signed agreement, and the signed agreement is showing $2.7 million. So it was sold for $2.7 million. I mean, multiply by what's the exchange rate in Dominica?
About 2.671.
Almost $6 million EC dollars for that property. Yep. So,
you followed that with a fine-tooth comb, and you may be able to provide more information.
I have all the information. As I said, I want Tony to come talk about it first.
You want Mr. Asafan to get into denial.
I've not said she owns the property yet. I've just said
it's connected.
She is connected to that property. That property is listed as her address in the state. As I've told you, I've tracked her from the time she would have had addresses in the U.S., from Corona right down to Long Island City. All right, so I have all that information. I have the numbers.
So there's a lot more to come. You're waiting, as you said, before you can say anything else.
Well, my work is ended. I have all the information already.
You're waiting for Mr. Tony Asafan to speak?
I'm just waiting for him to come and talk. Because he likes to jump out and talk. I enjoy that. You remember when...
You're playing the cat and mouse game.
Yes. Remember when the Villa came out?
Yes.
The Villa story came out, and I received the email. I forwarded all the emails to them, and a few days later he said I was a hacker and a doctor.
Right.
But this time there is no hacking, no doctoring. I have all the information right now.
So you have an investigative team working with you this time?
Yeah, investigator working with me. And let them deny the facts. I mean, where she's lived, the tax lien. Let me give you information on the tax lien, the tax warrant, finance part. They give me a detailed report. The first tax lien was on the 21st. No, that's the second one. The first was in October 4th, 2009, and it was settled on October 21st, 2010, the amount was $1,152, and it was in the name of Melissa Popon and Brandon K. Hyson. Again, it is alleged that she was married to this guy. And I've heard rumors that she's still, but that's not like this. I don't know that. All right? We don't know that. And the second one was filed on the 23rd of September 2013 in New York again, and it was settled on February 19th, 2014 for $309. But that one was only in her name, and that was connected to the Tyler Road address, West Hempstead, I believe, where the Eiffels live. All right, so both were settled. One in 2013, and one in and the other in in 2010. Right? No, one was set in 2014 and the other in 2010. So I have all her financial records, her name. I believe her middle name is Claire, so it's Melissa Claire Popon-Skerry.
Well, we're going to continue following you on this one. I suspect you have a lot more information, but as you said, at this time you're playing the cat and mouse game.
What to do? Have somebody record. I don't listen to the not the hang. How you call that show? The stupid, the next level show.
Yes, that's what I saw.
That people tell me what they say. They call my name every day. I don't know why. I mean, I am not. My name is not Colin, and I don't live in the valley, so I don't know why my name is being called all the time by Tony. I don't know if it's because he knows that I have some chat history, but I don't want to bring your show into disrepute anyway.
All right. Well, I'll tell you what, Trevor. We'll follow you and we'll continue to follow. As you said, you're waiting for Mr. Astafan to make a statement, and you can
somebody record what he says, and then I will come back with
the bombshell.
Yeah, man.
All right, my brother. Thank you very much. I will say sometimes this hot sit reads like a Hollywood script. It's 9:53. This is the hot sit. Hello, talk to me. Repeat. You're talking like you're holding back, like you have some hot potato in your mouth. Speak. We're connecting the dots at this time. 9:54. Hello. Talk to me.
Matt, we want to know where the lady get all that money.
Well, we never said anything about she having any monies yet. We're saying that there's some properties connected to her name. So careful what you say, okay? Addresses connected to her name. Correction there. Trevor knows something that we don't know. I'm actually trying to connect the dots.
Now an update.
Hello, talk to me.
Yes, no.
Are you there, caller?
Mr. Belty?
Yes.
Only dresses, no blouse. Dresses alone, and they're listening. Take care.
Take care now. Take care. You have to be very careful. You know, there are people out there just waiting for you to say the wrong thing. Hello, talk to me.
Good morning, Matt Peltier, and good morning to your beloved listeners.
My brother.
Good day to you.
Good day to you.
Matt, we got to be very careful, but let me, as a front line,
Bulldog, let me say to the Dominican people, if they have any doubt, the acronym POROS sounds like Popon Roosevelt.
Oh, that's what it sounds like.
That's what it sounds like, because in the military, Matt, everything we have an acronym, just as ASAP, ASAP. But Matt, let me say to you, something more seriously I'm considering. We need to get the FBI, CID, and everyone to start investigating the assets that Roosevelt carried and family.
Which CID you talking about? Dominica CID?
Well, no, we may have to get CID from other Caribbean.
Oh, that's what you mean. Okay.
Yeah, they are tainted, Matt. They are done. Simeon Albert, let me say to you, sir, you are an enemy of the state for helping to perpetuate the level of crime that is taking place in your cabal, Simeon Albert. Simeon Albert, you are not that dumb to know that corruption has overpassed its level in Dominica. And unless you stand and speak truth to power, you, Nansen, Emmanuel Nansen, who is yet to tell us his asset holding, how much money. And I would like to know, Matt, who was the individual who walked in the Bank of Nova Scotia with $1.5 million and said this was proceedings to his business account? Who was that?
I suspect you know the answer, but you're looking for me to give the answer. Caller, thank you very much. 957. Hello.
Matt,
yes.
I didn't call nobody name. I said
I didn't say that you did.
Oh.
I didn't say that you did.
Hold on a while, please.
Mm-hmm.
I said I would like to know where she get all that money, or this lady get all that money to buy them buildings. If it's the lottery she win, we want to know. I didn't call nobody name. Have a good day, bye.
Hello, talk to me.
Good morning. Matt, isn't it a well-established public information that this young lady came back to Dominica as a student and got about $90,000 of our tax money from a duty-free concession on an Infinity? Is that a well-established public fact, Matt?
I don't know if I would add to it that it's a well-established fact. Maybe you know something that I don't know. Hello, talk to me.
Matt, I would like to hear from Ralph Alcindor. You cut him off. Let him make his contribution. He's not accusing anybody.
I didn't say that he was. He was done with the point, my brother. All right, thank you very much. It's 9:58. We're moving on. Hello. Hello. 4493095. Hello.
Matt.
I'm here, sir.
Okay, tell me, as a true Dominican, tell me exactly what other people like myself doing wrong.
You want me to tell you what you doing wrong, my brother? Why would you ask me a question like that, huh? Why would you ask me a question like that? You expect me to know where everybody has gone wrong? Hello, talk to me.
Matt, we have a right to ask about our tax money, Matt.
I'm not telling that you don't, but you tell me whether it's a well-established fact. I'm saying you may know something that I don't know.
Matt, our tax dollars, we can ask about it with no fear. It is our money, and this is a democracy.
But who said that? And you're asking questions. I'm telling you that you may know something I don't know. You asked me a question. I'm saying maybe you have more facts about it than I do. That's all I'm telling you. You want me to add to what you're saying? Hello, talk to me.
Good morning, Master.
How you doing, my brother? How you doing?
Yeah, I'm doing fine. This is Edwin Custon Valley.
How you doing, brother?
I'm doing okay, Matt. Are you still on Ambassador Emmanuel Nanton thing? Can I comment on that?
Yes, you can comment quickly. We don't have too much time.
Yes, Matt. As Tyrone said, bless him, that he go around the bush, he naming a guy, a gentleman, this, and up to now he cannot call the guy name. He is not from Malaysia, but he's living in Malaysia. You know where he's from, Mr. Emmanuel Nanton. Tell us where he's from. Why are you shying away? He said the guy has done so good for himself. With money he stole from his country. It is alleged that he stole $2.9 billion from his country. And our country, my Dominica, assisted him in doing that by registering 11 oil tankers so that they could violate the sanction of the United Nations and America and you're saying he has done good for himself, and they name him sir because he has done so good.
Well, he made a statement, so I will tell you, just to clarify, put in perspective, that was on May 29th, 2015, okay? Just to put in perspective for you.
Yeah.
All right?
In Dominica, why is his vehicle hiding, being moved from there, and everywhere? This vehicle has been sprayed over. It was moved from one place. It was in your yard. It was alleged that it was in your yard, Mr. Nanton. Now it is alleged that it is in a rental place in Portsmouth. I saw it. Why? What you're hiding? And you coming on the radio and talk crap? Come on, get better than that, man. We are more educated than that. And the world is a global village now. Information is at our fingertips. You can't fool anybody anymore.